She is an intuitive life and leadership coach that is helping people to navigate challenges and growth in both their professional and their personal lives. Today, we're deep diving into her new book, Higher Self, where she created a powerful roadmap to rekindling your intuition and reconnecting with your true self. Maury Fontanez is here today with us. Maury, thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me, Rachel.
Yes, I'm so excited to have you. When I read the description of what you do and kind of what your book is about, it was inspiring just reading that description. Tell me about your book. What is it?
Really, it's a roadmap back to the version of you that trusts yourself. You know, I think we're in an era of truly lacking trust in ourselves, and that was why this book needed to happen right now, is to remind people that you have the wisdom inside you to know what to do next. The answers are within. And we are inundated with so much noise, so much fear right now, that we forget to just kind of calm that mind and tune into a more deeper knowing place and really live our lives from that place of wisdom instead of from fear.
Now, do you think a lot of that fear and noise comes from looking at other people's lives, other people's careers, maybe comparing?
It comes from so many things. It comes from our conditioning from a very young age that we need the validation of others to survive. Even our caregivers, who are very well-meaning, we look to them and the way that they react to us to get signals about whether we are good enough, whether we're too much or not enough. And so we start to believe these things about ourselves that are really contracted and limited. And those limited selves, I call them your littles, they're always with you and they're always projecting those kinds of limiting beliefs. And they operate from a place of fear. And then that's further, you know, enhanced by what's coming at you. What's coming at you in the media or in your company or at school. You know, you're constantly being fed information that's teaching you to externalize your wisdom. And also that fear is vigilance. And so when we put those things together, we sort of teach our children and ourselves that we need to pay attention to that fear voice more than any other voice.
Okay, so we got the fear part. Tell me the solution part. What do you recommend that people do to get out of that?
Yeah, that's such a good question. First of all, pause. I used to do crisis management for almost 20 years.
Wow.
And I would tell clients, there is no situation where you can't just pause for a minute and take a deep breath. And when you take that breath, what you can do is decipher, discern between the fear thought and the knowing thought. The fear thought is gonna have an emotion with it. It's gonna feel anxious. It's gonna feel tight in your body somewhere, contracted. The intuitive thought, as I'm saying it right now, I'm sure you all will know what it feels like. It's calm, it's grounded, and it kind of drops in like fact. So I always say, if you really want to trust your intuition, start with discerning between the fear voice and the knowing voice, and then follow the knowing voice and start to collect evidence. When I follow my intuition, what happens? Our brains need evidence to believe in things. So the more that you show your mind that your intuition is spot on, the more likely you are to believe it.
You have me so convinced, Maury. I feel like you are just so fabulous at this. Tell me a little bit about your background and kind of how you got started in writing. How did this happen?
This is my first book. I never thought I would write a book. I'm the child of Iranian immigrants who moved here really to give their two girls a chance at freedom. And, you know, I took that really seriously. And the way that I went into the world is that I had to succeed in corporate America. So I went into PR and kind of climbed the ranks there. And I helped people say their messages. I helped write things for other people. But then when I realized, no, my purpose is really to help people trust themselves more, not to go write messages to get people out of crisis, but to actually help them trust their knowing. I left and I started coaching folks. And I started to see this method working, not only in their lives, but in my own life. And I just thought, you know what, you need to put this down. It's a roadmap. You need to hand this to people. And the time is now. So it was my first writing project, and I'm super proud of it.
Wonderful. Okay, so is the book out now? When is it? Where can you get it?
You can buy the book, Higher Self, anywhere that you buy books, Barnes & Noble, Amazon, anywhere online.
So cool. Congratulations to you. What has it been like to see the reaction from people? I mean, you've been changing people's lives, it seems like, for a while now, helping people out. What is that like when you see someone's mind shift there?
It's the most fulfilling thing. I never even thought to dream of. That when people will DM me or message me and say, this book saved my life. This book changed the way I see myself. I suddenly trust myself again. That is the kind of fulfillment I can't really describe. There's no money in the world that can give you that feeling. So it's been such a joy to watch people interact with this book. It's super interactive too. And so people are really personalizing it. And then they're writing to me about the way that they're personalizing each chapter and the synchronicity they're finding with my story and their story. And so it's been just such a delight to watch people.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And you said you started thinking you had to climb this corporate ladder and really succeed in corporate America. Do you feel like you've had this shift in your own life where you finally feel like you're kind of in your own and comfortable with what you're doing?
Absolutely, but I'm gonna tell you something. It's not like a snap of a finger, and it's not easy. It's not a cakewalk. It's a constant dialogue with yourself and doing that discernment that I always tell people to do between fear and knowing. I have to do that 100 times a day. And I'm still coaching people who are in the limelight, and I have to check my own imposter syndrome and fear when I'm doing it, but it's really about knowing that, oh, there's this voice that every time you followed her, it's been spot on. And so having faith in that knowing and continuing to do that. It's a reminder every day.
Yes, okay, one more question that I'm looking for a tip on for our viewers today. If one of their littles comes out and brings a fear forward to them, do you have any quick, like something to change the mindset to shift away from that fear in those moments that the littles come out?
Such a good question. I tell people, think about someone in your life, a child in your life. Your child, your sister, your brother, niece, nephew. Think about if they came to you with that contracted, limited belief about themselves. What would you say? How would you speak to them? Talk to yourself that way. The minute you give yourself that kind of love and compassion, that little can quiet down and you can hear the intuitive self.
I love that message. You being here is just like a big hug, I feel like, for our viewers. So thank you so much for all you do. And again, where can people buy your book?
You can buy my book anywhere you buy books, Higher Self, Reclaiming the Power of Your Intuition.